What's up, everybody? This is David Dye with Rock Hard Live. I'm sitting on the couch with Sacramento legends Will Haven. And tonight we're filming from the Holy Diver in Sacramento, which you guys may or may not remember as Starlight. I haven't been here since, so we're going to check out a full set tonight, but right now we're sitting with these awesome gentlemen, and we're going to have a nice interview. First, before I get greedy, can you guys tell the fans that are watching across the country your names and the instrument you play for the fans that may or may not be familiar with Will Haven?
Grady, vocals.
Jeff, guitar.
All right, thank you, Grady and Jeff. You guys are basically celebrating this album for what has or was like maybe the end of the band, maybe not, hopefully not, right?
Yeah, I'd never say never, but who knows? We'll see what the future holds.
Well, this guy wanted to quit, and so I dragged him back into the band, and then we wrote an amazing record, and I think we both surprised ourselves how good it came out. So when we were done with the record, we were like, wow, you know, like maybe we can do something pretty cool beyond this, because I think this was kind of just like, we kind of had a formula in mind. We wanted to go back to our old school Will Haven style, but try to incorporate something new. So, you know, there is a lot of old Will Haven in it, but that's what we kind of to jumpstart back into that, kind of where we'd lost a little bit of that.
Yeah. And
so, but we found some other stuff that we kind of stumbled upon. So it's kind of like we came out actually feeling like a brand new band, really. So
okay.
So yeah, we don't know what's gonna hold. We're just riding the wave now. It's like we just put out this record. We're not really worried about another one right now. So like it takes us a long time to write a record. So we got this one out. Let's just go have fun with it, play, and then see what happens after that.
Okay. And you guys are kicking it off today. Today's your first start of the tour.
Yeah, we're not really doing a tour.
Let me get this microphone on you, my man.
Yeah, no tour. This is just our album release show, and I think we're playing some more shows down south in May, and then up north in June. But that's all we have planned for so far.
That's all right, man. That's a good beginning to it. You guys got this album that's coming out, and which is good that you got Grady back into it, you know, because
he's my best friend. I got to get him back.
That's good. It takes encouragement, you know. Everybody wants to give up, you know, what their passions or what their, you know, we have a lot of things in our life, you know, family, kids, and things like that, and girlfriends that don't want us to do activities that we like to do. But from what I'm seeing on the fans sites and reports and stuff, I read a couple of things that people have been saying across, you know, 4 or 5 different prospects, you know, like the Sacramento Bee pages and the comment boards and stuff. Everybody's comparing this new album to the sounds of the WHVN album and stuff. Do you guys feel good about that?
Yeah, I like that album, so it's a nice comparison, but I don't think we set out to do the same sound as from that recording.
Yeah, it's funny because I've seen that where it's, to me, it sounds like a whole new band. I mean, it's definitely us, but at the same time, I don't think it sounds anything like Carpe Diem or WHVN that those people are saying. It's like I kind of don't understand. I'm like, where are you?
I think in a prospect of like album wise, when a band comes out with a new album, it's like
they got to compare it.
They want to compare maybe a couple songs that they've heard, and they're like, you know, this is sounding kind of good, so it sounds like this one. You know, I've seen that a lot. But from what your band is basically, they're comparing yours to the origin of the sound, even though the sound's different.
Well, I think because like WHVN and I mean our first 3 records, I mean are kind of our pinnacle for a Will Haven fan. You know, like there's people that love El Diablo, there's people that love Carpe Diem and WHVN. So when we put something out, they're going to go back to their favorite record and compare it, which I understand. So I think anytime you're a fan of the band, you're going to listen to that record and go like, oh, this sounds like this or this sounds like that. But with this record, there's so much going on. I think it's going to take people a little while. I think this is one of those records that's going to simmer. You know, it's like they're going to listen to it, they're going to compare old Will Haven stuff to it, and then maybe like a year from now they're going to go like, wait a minute, this record's like a whole different beast on its own. Like I didn't really get the connection at first, because a lot of records it takes a time to grow on you.
Yeah, and like El Sol, that song is a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna grow on you, but that's what makes a great record. Is like there's records that come out and you hear it right away, and there's pretty rare that you're like, oh my god, that's amazing. You do it first, but then as time goes on, you're like, well, that record's really awesome. You know, there's records for me, like when I first heard OK Computer Radiohead, to me, it was like, this is weird. This is kind of out of the box. It doesn't sound like their last record, and now it's one of my favorite records I've ever heard in my life. But at first, I'm like, it's going to take me some time to get used to it. So I think our record, even for Willhaven fans, it's going to be that way. So I'm listening to critics now. I'm like, whatever. But you're not going to say that in a year from now. You're gonna be on a whole nother level. So
yeah, I think this record it's not a one listen and put aside. You're going to have to listen to it a few times, and take it back, and then listen to it again.
Even for us writing it. Even for us writing, we were just like, it took us a time to get used to it, Like, we had to listen to songs over and over again to finally make sense of it. So even for us as a band, it took us time too. So I get it.
Now, in my perspective, I feel that when I was listening to your guys' music, I feel like there was a small touch of, like, I want to say, like, a Suicide Silence, like the new stuff, a touch of that with, like, a touch of, like, Deftones, like those two, like, touched on it. But even though it's your guys' albums, you guys did your own thing. I feel like I got a little bit from those as well, your Willhaven sound, of course, but I'm pulling a little bit of sounds from that. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I've never heard of Suicide Silence, so I don't know what that's coming from. But Deftones, love them, but they're not. I never draw any inspiration from them, but I love them.
Yeah, it's weird about this band. We don't listen to music and like think, oh, we need to sound like that. Like, we don't have any outside influence except for ourselves.
That's good.
We just do our thing and we just do what we do. We being a band for 23 years, you already have a formula established and you can go back to that. And we have references, so that's our influences ourselves, Like, Willhaven's our biggest influence, so we don't look to other bands and, like, I know Deftones, but I don't know the band you're referring to either. Oh. We're kind of out of the scene. It's like we all listen to totally different things in metal. Like, I never listen to metal anymore.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nowadays, I think that as we get older, our music change. Sorry, and we tend to sometimes root off into another subgenre or a different genre.
And we compare it to Deftones a lot, but we're from the same town. We grew up together. Like, we have the same influences. We lived in the same houses. Like, we grew up together. So it's like, it's in the water. We're going to sound like each other no matter what. Now, if we tried to go left field, we'd still have some kind of Deftones thing in us, because that's just how we sound, is come from this town. So, it's we can't escape it. Even our friends that were in FAR, they have tendencies to sound like Deftones. They didn't even try to sound like them either. So it's one of those things that it's in our blood, We're all gonna sound similar somehow.
I remember I didn't even hear about you guys until, like, a long time ago, like 10, 11 years ago or so. I was at the Sacramento Bee, and there was a lot of people that were listening to your guys' music there that worked there as a facility, and they were like, "Have you heard it? You ever heard it?" And I was like, "I used to go to a lot of shows. I'm gonna go now." And went to the Boardwalk, and there was a few openers, but those guys, I don't think those guys were around anymore, But you guys were doing a show there, and it was pretty good, The crowd turnout, everybody having fun and stuff, and that was back in the day. So, things, new venues and stuff. So, what's been happening since then, since you guys have been doing it?
I have no clue. The world keeps turning. I don't know.
Yeah, God, I don't know what year that you saw us, but, we've always been just kind of plugging away. We've always been an underground band. Like, I would say we're a cult band. We're not a huge band at all, but we are in an underground scene kind of way.
But you are known here in Sacramento, and that's all that matters.
Well, we've been around. We played the Cattle Club back in the day. So, like, we were there when Deftones were coming up and FAR. So we were the last kind of band to come out before the Cattle Club went away.
Well, what was that other place too? It was out in the middle, like Rio Linda too.
I don't know. Yeah, there's been a few.
I have no idea.
But we were kind of like, we came out in the heyday, like right when this started kind of ending. So we got to be in that scene. So our name got out there. But we've been touring off and on. We go to England, come home, we do some stuff here. But like, this band is really our hobby. It's not our full-time job. So we just do it whenever we have the time and feel like doing it. So.
Are you guys all in Sacramento still living here?
We all live in Sac, yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it's stuck here.
As I like to call it, it's a swamp. Even if you escape it, it'll drag you back down.
But I have friends that moved away, and they moved back. So there must be something here that we love, It's like...
So. It's a good music scene, though, environmentally. Like, you can come back, and hopefully your show is good tonight, like, as far as, like, the turnout-wise goes, and everybody's like, hey, let's go check it out, It's a Friday night.
Yeah, I hope so. Like,
yeah, hopefully a couple people show up, so that'd be nice.
Yeah. No, it's cool, because, like, back when we were starting, we were hanging out with, like, Deftones and FAR guys, like, they were playing the Cattle Club, and it was, like, every weekend was sold out, No matter who was playing the Cattle Club, it was sold out. And that, when the Cattle Club went away, it died a little bit. And now with Holy Diver opening up and some other venues, like, it's starting to pick up back up again. And I wish it would get back to how it was back then, because like back then it was insane. It was so awesome, so much fun. And that's for kids. Like, we guys gave us something to do on the weekends, So hopefully it can get back to that where it used to be. Maybe we'll be done and retired by then, but it's kind of cool to see it kind of come back now.
Yeah, my favorite thing right now is that there's a lot more venues than there was back in the Cattle Club. Like I said, there was that Cattle Club, and then the place out in Rio Linda. I used to go there when I was a lot younger too, and it was pretty cool. And the shows were a lot more packed, more people coming out to support the.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one club like this where it's all ages and small. Yeah.
Not just strictly 21. I noticed the places. We still have a 21 and over place, like on the Y and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this is a perfect venue. It needs to be like a 200, 300 seater, because Ace of Spades is too big, even too big for us. And we're from this town, we couldn't play there. We couldn't headline there. So a place like this is perfect. It needs a place like this in Sacramento where more bands like us can play and people show up, and if you half full, it still looks packed. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So my next question for you guys is: I noticed your artwork on the design. So the cover of your album is the two boxes with the gold circle and stuff, and the hand reaching down. Was there some kind of influence to that, or the reason why you guys chose that? I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
so I'm just wondering what it
went through stages. We kind of, a friend who works with our label, his name's Mike, is Cobra, or whatever, but he designed it. He came up with all these concepts, all these hands and stuff, and I narrowed it down to where is the star symbol, the circle one, and that's just in the booklet. And then the cover has the gold hand reaching down with a black hand. And when I saw it, I made the connection of like, all right, the record's called Muerte, which is death in Spanish. And I figured that it resembled me like a living hand letting go of a hand that was dying. So either it be themselves letting go and they're passing away, going on to another life, or they're losing someone that they care about, which kind of, in retrospect, is kind of like what we were doing, because, this was going to be our last record. It was kind of almost like letting go of Willhaven, something that's been in our life forever, And there's a sadness to it, because these are my brothers, these are my best friends, and I've toured the world with these guys, and I've made the best music in the world for me with these guys. So it's like, it was almost like losing something that was really special to you. And those two hands was so iconic. And, we had Willhaven written on it, and I was like, it just needs to be the hands, because those hands tell a story, on its own. So that's what we did, and it worked. It actually worked out really well for the whole meaning behind the record, and the artwork. The art looks rad.
Too?
Yeah, totally. Everything fell into place. So yeah, it was awesome.
That's good, man, and I like it, and I hope that a lot of people pick up that new album. Can you tell the fans where they can get that album at? If somebody's from Texas or Florida?
Yeah, I mean, it's luckily we have a label that gets us everywhere. So we're on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. We have a website, Pledge Music, where they can go order the record, but there's also autographed memorabilia from Grady, from me, from Mitch. Really cool stuff on there. Any live streaming website, you can get it. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. I mean, all you just type in Willhaven, you'll find it. So it's everywhere. You can either buy it or you can steal it.
Yeah, so. I seen some of the European fans were wanting to get some of your albums too, and they were like, "Where can I get a hard CD?"
Yeah, it's cool, because over there they want hard packaging. They want LPs and CDs, and like they collect that stuff over there. Over here, everybody just streams it, whatever, and listen to work, whatever. But over there, they care a little more about music, and they actually want something tangible that they can hold on to and look at the artwork and stuff. So, but we're working on distro to get over there, and because it is expensive to ship stuff over there, so we got to figure out a way to.
Unless you do a show and then you start selling merch.
Well, that would actually work out for us, because we are planning on going there later this year, and if we take our merch, we'll do well. So maybe that's a better idea.
That would work.
All right. So my next question for you is when's the next time we get to see Willhaven? If some of the fans that haven't got to see the CD release show tonight, when's the next time they can see you guys?
Was it May 3rd?
Yes,
San Francisco?
May 3rd, San Francisco at what was your favorite club? The Eagle.
The Eagle.
May 4th, we're playing in Fullerton at Program Skate Shop in Fullerton. May 5th. San Diego, Brick by Brick. May 6th, we're playing the Viper Room in Hollywood. California.
Some of our fans are from San Diego, so
there you go, San Diego.
brick
Yeah,
by brick.
brick
There
by
you
brick.
go.
It's gonna be an awesome show. The next night, Hollywood at Viper Room, and then we're home, and then we go to Seattle, Highline Bar, and then Portland at what's the theater there? Star Theater or something like that.
Man,
In Portland, yeah, and that's in June.
Yeah, yeah.
June,
it's been a
so-
while since I've been there too. I like that.
Yeah, we haven't been there in a long time either, and the show's like getting almost sold out, so it's gonna be.
Oh, and you guys are doing your own headlining show, or are you guys
Yeah.
direct support for any bands?
No,
on
these are all our whole headlining shows. We're taking out a band, Fake Figures. That's some of the guys that are in Treyu. They're going to open up for us. And then up north, we're playing with the band called Witch Mountain. They're pretty popular up there. And then I think just local bands in Seattle. So, but all the support bands are really killer, and it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Good, good. And I hope that you fans come out and check out these guys' shows all over the place. Portland, brick by brick, San Diego fans and watchers, come on, check them out. And hopefully this album does good for you guys.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Because I don't want it to be the last. I don't want to say another Sacramento band is no longer,
Oh, man. You bust out the wheelchairs. We'll do another one.
There you go. See? All right. So, Grady, I'm going to hand you the microphone. Go ahead and say whatever you want to the fans. Give them a shout out or tell your loyal fans what's next.
Thanks for coming out to all the shows and sticking by us for all the years. I hope to see you out on the road.
All right.
I concur.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Grady. I appreciate it tonight.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll
you
be. All right. Thank you.
I'm Grady from Will Haven. You're watching Rock Hard Live.